guys, I'm Elena, and for the past 4 years I have been living and traveling on a sailboat with my husband Ryan while making a living. These days, after experiencing a lockdown, more and more people feel the need to change their lifestyle and live a more adventurous life. So cruising around the world has become a dream for many. If you're wondering how to achieve this dream without having a huge stack of cash squirreled away somewhere, you have come to the right place. There are ways to earn a passive income while you're traveling the world by sailboat, and these are, for example, renting your own property or having an investment portfolio. However, if, like me, you don't have this opportunity or you don't want to wait for years until you can achieve this, you will have to actively make money while you cruise. To earn a living while traveling the world by sailboat, there are two main options. If you are planning to travel very slowly, you could register as a resident in each country you sail to and find either a short-term regular job there or register as self-employed there. This would mean paying tax in each country you visit, so it's a great solution if you plan to stay in every country for more than 3 or 6 months. Let me give you some examples of jobs you can do by registering in a foreign country and do from there. I'm gonna read them out to you because I wrote too many down. So boatyard worker, translator, English teacher, business consultant, boatyard manager or receptionist, yacht charter skipper or manager or assistant, marina manager, sailing instructor, dive master, and insurance or boat broker. So how would this work? Once you are registered in the country, you would be able to apply for any of the jobs that you have the necessary experience or skills to do. Beware, this might mean that you might have to learn the local language, or you might have to find a job that suits an expat. Please understand that in some countries, for very good reason, the local government will facilitate the employment of locals over yours. So you usually have a better chance at finding a job that the locals don't have the experience or skills to do. You could always try and help the local economy back by teaching that job to a local before you leave. The other option that we mentioned is to register as self-employed in that country, so you travel taking your skills with you. I'll just give you a few examples of self-employed jobs that you could do from that country. Again, I wrote them down. So you could do boat upholstery, rigging inspections, marine surveys, as well as, for example, AC repairs. That's a thing that is massively needed in countries such as where we are here in the Caribbean. And you could be a music artist. There's endless possibilities. If your plan is to travel slowly and stay for a long time in each country, it will definitely pay off to invest the time and money into learning the job that you plan to do. For example, it's a great idea to get your scuba diving qualifications or your sailing instructor qualifications, or both, before you set off. So you have those qualifications in the bag and you can take them wherever you go, and that will definitely help your employability. If, like me, you'd rather keep moving without stopping in each country for a long time, you will have to make your job virtual. As a rule of thumb, you can travel to many countries in the world and stay there for up to 3 months while working remotely for a business or your own business which is based outside of that country. Different countries have different legislations, and as well as that, your own country, which is where you will be based as a resident and as a taxpayer, will have its own residency and business regulations. So it's best to always check that what you plan to do is legal on both sides. There is a misconception that digital nomads like me don't pay tax, so I ask you to please understand that this is illegal and it is up to you, like with anything in life, to comply with the law. So next, we'll look at some examples of virtual jobs that you can do from a boat, and I'll read those to you again because there's too many. Social media marketing manager, copywriter or freelance marketer like me, translator, virtual assistant, accountant, web designer or web developer like my husband, researcher, video editor like me again, yoga instructor, marketing consultant, Etsy shop manager. The sky is the limit. As long as it's online, you could basically do anything. If you don't have a background in any of these jobs, please don't be put off. You can learn most virtual jobs from your laptop. This might mean you need to wait a little bit longer to set off so that you have the time to learn new skills before you go off sailing. But if your desire to travel the world by sailboat is strong, this little hiccup should not put you off. Believe me, you will need to learn so much about sailing and boat maintenance in order to live this kind of lifestyle, so learning a new skill and problem solving will be essential in your new life. Okay, so if you've chosen a remote job or a self-employment regular job in the country where you travel, next you will need to launch your business. This is a huge topic, so I will just give you a quick summary of it so you know what's involved, and I'll give you a reference to where to go to learn more about it. First, you will need to build a portfolio of your work. This is a great way to practice the skills that you have learned. If you are staying in your field, you could recycle some of the work that you've done for an employer and show it to potential clients, but you will usually have to keep that private. Then you should choose a name for your business and register it. Your government will have specific guidelines for doing this published on one of their websites. Next, you should price your work. Looking at the current market will give you a good idea of what to charge based on your skills and experience. You may need a tiered strategy for this, where you charge new clients a cheaper price when you start off, and then you build up the fee as you go along. Before you start looking for new clients, you will have to work on your brand. You will need a logo, a marketing strategy, a website, and maybe more. Then you will need to start finding your own clients and pitch your work to them. Here you can go with traditional networking, whether it's online or offline, or you could join a platform such as People Per Hour, where you can offer your work. The other thing you can do is to research your dream clients and find their contacts, for example on LinkedIn, and pitch to them directly. If you're going to be self-employed and registered as a tax resident in the country where you are working from, then traditional networking and word of mouth will be extremely useful to build your business. You could even make some online connections by joining expat or cruising Facebook groups. This might sound a little bit overwhelming, and it is a long process that you will want to tackle methodically so that you get it just right. If you'd like to learn how to successfully launch your business, I'd highly recommend Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, develop existing interests, and get lost in creativity. My favorite course for learning how to launch your own business is this one, Be Your Own Boss, Strategies for Launching Your Creative Career by Martina Floor. Martina is a lettering artist and designer who has set up an incredible business for herself. Throughout the class, Martina covers how to build your reputation, pricing your work, and more. I loved that Martina addressed the sticky point of how to price your work, because this can be a very sticky point, especially if you're just starting out. Skillshare offers membership for creative classes that can help you structure your time and set up achievable goals. You can choose from a huge list of courses in all sorts of fields, from how to edit a video to learning the fundamentals of usability for web design. The first 1,000 people to use the link in my description down here will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and after that it's just about $10 a month. So once you've got your business set up, you will have to decide when to leave. If you have settled on the physical job option, then my suggestion would be to get all the qualifications you need before you set off, if you can. Then I would start to look at job opportunities in that field, in the country that you are planning to travel to, just to get an idea of what the market is like. If you find job opportunities that interest you and that you think you'd be a good fit for, I would encourage you to get in touch and ask them if they would be willing to hire you once you get there, so that ideally, when you leave, you have a job lined up for you. I would also recommend having a cruising kitty and an emergency fund stashed away. This will help you pay for your living expenses and boat maintenance expenses while you are in between jobs, which will very likely happen every time you travel to a new country. In my opinion, if you are going for the virtual job option, it's best to leave only once you have accrued enough clients that you can pay for your living expenses. This will give you the confidence that you have work and you can pay for your expenses while you travel around. It's also wise to have an emergency fund saved away that you can use for paying for your living expenses or boat work, because when you're freelancing, clients come and go all the time and your boat will definitely need maintenance and upgrades. Finally, I have a bonus section for those that need to change field of work. If your job can't be done from a sailboat, you will have to start from scratch. This can be a little intimidating at first, but a good way to look at it is to think about it as a great way to get it right the second time round. For example, if you follow our channel, you'll know that my husband Ryan was a civil engineer on land, and that's not a job you can do from a sailboat, so he had to reinvent himself and learn web design. So how do you go about deciding what to do next? First, you will want to think about the skills that you have now and make a list of them. Notice what you're good at and what makes you happy in your day-to-day life and write it down. And finally, make a note of what inspires you and makes you feel productive. Once you have these all written down on a list, try to match them to a traditional job description, or at least to the soft skills needed for the job. If it sounds to you like practicing these skills will make you feel fulfilled and will bring you joy, then start checking out the technical skills needed. Now that you know the technical skills needed for the job, try to find a website or course where you can learn them. For example, if you love structuring your calendar and organizing spreadsheets, you might want to look at the skills needed to become a virtual assistant. Sure, there will be skills on there that you don't have right now, but you will have the time to learn them before you start applying. Okay, so once you have your business set up, you can take your skill with you and travel the world while working from anywhere, including from your cockpit. So while it may sound like doing this is a lot of work and hassle, and it is totally worth it. Because having a job that you can do anywhere in the world will give you a lot of freedom and independence. I really hope you found this video useful, and if you'd like to get a taste for what living on a sailboat while making a living is like, you can check out our other videos on our YouTube channel Sailing Kittiwake, where we document our cruising adventures. This is spectacular sailing! I don't remember ever having anything like this, ever!